Is it I had a fever yesterday or I was having a fever yesterday? Or do you say I have an internet issue or I am having an internet issue? Or sometimes you find it difficult to understand when to use walk, walked, walking, or play, played, playing. Or do you find it difficult to understand when to use is, am, was, are, have? If yes, or if you are a beginner to learn English, this is the video that you should watch till the end, because in this video I will tell you when to use is, was, are. I will also tell you when to use walk, walked, walking, or play, played, playing. Also, if you're a foodie, I have a YouTube channel mentioned in the description. One of my friend has a YouTube channel who talks about his experiences on food. So show some love for him as well, and let's watch this video. Thank you so much. Hi everyone. Before we talk about tenses, it is important to understand verbs and verb forms, as tense is a verb form that shows the time of an action, event or state. There are three types of verbs. Number one, action verb. Action verbs are also called dynamic verbs. They express an action whether it's physical or mental. An action verb explains what the subject of the sentence is doing or has done. For example, fight. Another example, dance. Ride is also an action verb. Drive is another example of action verb. Play is an action verb. Type, read is an action verb. To check is an action verb. So action verb implies to a physical activity that you can feel and touch. The second type is stative verbs. They express a state rather than an action. They usually relate to thoughts, emotions, relationship, senses, state of being and measurement. Example, fear. Another example is smell. Love is also a stative verb. Like is another example of stative verb. See is also a stative verb. So these are a few examples of stative verb. Now remember, these verbs are not usually used with ing or the progressive continuous tense. So you cannot say I am loving it, or I'm liking it, or it's smelling bad. We use simple tenses for them. The third type is helping verb. Now, there are 23 helping verbs in English. Helping verb is a verb that comes before the main verb in a sentence. Together, the helping verb and the main verb forms a verb phrase. They are also called auxiliary verb. Examples are am, is, are, was, were, do, does. These are a few examples of helping verbs. As we understand the type of verbs, let us understand about verb forms. Now you must be wondering, why are we learning about verb form? Because verb form will help us to understand the structure of the tenses. Let's look at them one by one. The first one is base form, which is also called as V1. For example, walk. Second is the simple past form, which is also called as V2. Now V2 of walk will be walked. Remember, when you form V2 by adding ed to V1, from those verbs are called regular verbs. Now the third is the past participle, which is also called as V3. So V3 of walk will also be walked because these are regular verbs. The fourth is verb with ing, which is also called as V4. So V4 of walk will be walking. The fifth is verb with S, which is also called as V5. So V5 of walk is walks. So there are 5 verb forms in English language. Let us look at few more examples. Play, V1. So V2 of play will be played. V3 will be also played. V4 will be playing, V5 will be plays. So play and walk is a regular verb. Let's look at some other example. For example, go. V2 of go is went. Now remember, when the V2 and V3 is not created by adding ed and they are different, those are called irregular verbs. So V3 of go will be gone. V4 of go will be going. V5 of go will be goes. Now, as this video is about tenses, I will upload another video about verbs in details. That will be coming soon. Let's now understand what are tenses. Now, tenses play a crucial role in the English language. It denotes the time an action takes place, whether sometimes in the past, in the present, or will take some time in the future. Now, English, there are three main tenses. The first tense is the past tense. The second is the present tense. And the third is the future tense. Every tense has its form, which are listed below. First is simple tense, continuous tense, perfect tense, perfect continuous tense. We will look at these tenses in detail along with few basic rules. The first tense we will learn today is present simple tense. Now let's assume that this is a timeline. The black dot is a present tense. On the left we have past tense. On the right we have future tense. Now present simple tense is used for habits. Example, he drinks tea at breakfast, which means he drinks tea for his breakfast all the time. Another example, she only eats fish, which means it her habit to eat only fish. It is also used for repeated action. For example, we catch the bus every morning. This is the repeated action that happens every morning. Another example will be, it rains every afternoon, which means it is a repeated action and it rains every afternoon. It is also used for general truth or facts. For example, water boils at 100 degrees. That is a universal fact and a general truth. Second example, the earth revolves around the sun, which is a fact and also a universal truth. Now, present simple tense is also used for fixed arrangements. For example, his mother arrives tomorrow. The second example for fixed arrangement will be, the train leaves at 6 a.m., which means the train leaves at 6 a.m. every day. Now, every tense is a structure. The structure for present simple tense is subject plus V1 or V5. Let's look at the structure in the given example. Now, he is a subject. Drinks is V1. She is a subject. Eats is V5. We is a subject. Catch is V1. It is a subject. Rains is V5. Another example, water is a subject. Boils is V5. Earth is a subject. Revolves is V5. His is a subject. Arrives is V5. Train is a subject. Leaves is V5. Let's do a quick recap of present simple tense. So present simple tense is used for general truth, fixed arrangement, habits, repeated action. The structure is subject plus V1 or V5. Now this is important. For present simple tense, you will never use verb with ing form. So you will never say, I was drinking tea at my breakfast, or I was eating fish, or we were catching the bus. So ing form will not be possible in present simple tense. Now let us understand past simple tense. Let us assume that this is the timeline. So past simple tense is used when the action has occurred in the past and has no relation in the present or in the future. So it is used for completed action in the past. For example, I saw a movie yesterday, which means I saw a movie yesterday, not today or tomorrow. Last year I traveled to Japan, which means I traveled to Japan last year and not in 2020. It is also used for past duration. For example, I lived in Brazil for 2 years. So for 2 years talks about the past duration. Another example, they sat at the beach all day. Now, all day is an example for past duration. It is also used for past habits. For example, I studied French when I was a child. So this talks about a past habit when I was a child. He played the piano. In this example, this is a past habit where I used to play the piano. It is also used for past facts. For example, he liked tomatoes before. Now, the structure for past simple tense is subject plus V2. It could be regular or irregular verb. Let's look at the structure in these examples. In the first example, I is a subject, saw is V2 form of see, and it is a regular verb. Irregular verb. I is a subject and traveled is V2 form of travel, and it's a regular verb. Here I is a subject and lived is V2 form of live, and it's a regular verb. They is a subject and sat is V2 form of sit, and it is an irregular verb. In this example, I is a subject and studied is V2 form of study, and it is a regular verb. He is a subject and played is V2 form of play, and it is a regular verb. In this example, he is a subject and liked is V2 form of like, and it is a regular verb. Let's do a quick recap on past simple tense. So the past simple tense is used for past action. The structure is V2, whether it's regular or irregular verb. So subject plus V2, whether it's regular or irregular verb. Very important, you cannot use was, is, are, having plus verb ing form for past simple tense. Now, this was past simple tense. Let us look at the future simple tense. Again, we will understand with the help of a timeline. A future tense is used for an action that will start in the future and end in the future, and it is not a continuous action. So it is used for action that will begin in the future and end in the future. It has two forms, will and be going to. Let's look at these forms. Will express voluntary action. For example, I will send the information tomorrow. The second example will be they will send the details to you. Let's look at will to express promise. The example will be Rahul will call you when he arrives. So in this example, Rahul has promised someone that he will call when he arrives. Another example, I promise I will not tell him. So I have promised that I will not tell anybody about anything. Now let's look at be going to express plan. Example, he's going to spend his vacation in London. So instead of will, we have used is going to. Another example, Rahul is going to make a birthday cake. Again, instead of will, we have used is going to express a plan. Now let's look at will or be going to for prediction. Now John will be the next president. We have used will to predict that he will be the next president. The year 2021 will be very interesting or going to be very interesting. In this we have used is going to as a way to predict or express prediction. The structure for future simple tense is subject plus will or is going to plus V1 or V2 form. So in this example, they is a subject, will is the auxiliary verb, send is an action verb or the main verb. Rahul is a subject, will is the auxiliary verb, call is an action verb. I is a subject, will is the auxiliary verb, tell is an action or the main verb. He is a subject, is going to is an auxiliary verb, spend is an action or the main verb. Rahul is the subject, is going to, again it's an auxiliary verb, make is the action verb. Another example, John is the subject, will is the auxiliary verb. 2021 is a subject, is going to is the auxiliary verb. Let's do a quick recap on future simple tense. So the future simple tense is used for an action that will begin and end in the future. It has two forms, will and be going to. So the structure is subject plus will, be going to plus V1 or V2 form. Now, for future simple tense as well, never use the verb in ing form like sending, calling, telling. So this is part 1 of tenses. I will very soon upload part 2 of tenses. In the meanwhile, I would request you to like, subscribe, share and comment on this video. This is part 1 of tenses. I will upload part 2 and part 3 very soon. In the description, I have mentioned few exercises that you can practice on tenses. I hope you have liked this video. So please share, subscribe, comments on this video. Please share it with your friends who wants to learn English. It would be great for them as well. And thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day.